Okay, I definitely want to go back to bed now. Oh. Hi, everyone who's not here yet, or at all. Well, if I say hi, you're watching now or in the future. Since no one's here at the moment, we'll say hi to everyone in the future. Because you'll be here at some point. And I appreciate that you do. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Friday. Woo! Friday. December 6th, 2019. My name's Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Had a meeting late last night, and was about to go to bed, and then started talking to a friend who's going through something. So I stayed up a little bit messaging with him. Hope he's okay. I have a really hard time when things aren't going well for the people I care about. Because I can't fix it. And I'm an action-oriented person. I like to fix things. And when I was younger, that used to drive people insane. Because I just want to make it better. Just be like, all right, let's talk about it. Let's research. I'll sit down with the two of you and we'll chat it out and I'll mediate and I didn't understand why people didn't like that. And I didn't know what that was like because nobody was doing that for me. I didn't have anybody supporting me through difficult times. And then eventually I did. And I had people helping me and I realized, there's a line. There's a certain amount of help that people want. And offering more, insisting on more, isn't well received. Got it. Won't do that again. Well, I hope you had a good Thursday. I did. Mostly client stuff. What else? Worked out. Had a really good workout. Which is probably why I'm tired. My body's healing. Had a meeting with all of the CrossFit coaches and staff. And made a bunch of food. And were somewhat productive, but mostly just had fun. That was cool. Coffee's good. So now today, the big focus of today is on getting through the edits that 1, 2, looks like 3 people have sent back for the Martial Artist Handbook. There's still 1 or 2 copies out there. I told people, I said, I need edits for Friday morning. We'll see if those get done. Because you know what? I'm not going through and editing this in multiple rounds. I need all those copies up at like the same time. Because otherwise you're editing 50,000 words a lot of different times and reconciling those edits across versions, that's not going to be fun. Oh, I got 4. No, 3. I have 3 copies back. So I ended up with more on my schedule today than I wanted. So I may not be able to get through all that, which bums me out because I really want to. Because it's due Monday to Amazon. So I'm going to have to find a way. I'm going to have to get through it. There might be subsequent edits. maybe I'll go through the one that seems the best, get that up, and then deal with the others. It's not a bad idea. And I think what I'll do next time, as I'm going through this, Wes says, sometimes you have to burn the midnight oil, you've got this. I do. I know I do. Yeah. I think next time I'm going to send it out to one person at a time. But I was impatient. I really wanted this book out for Christmas. It's kind of a last minute, kind of automatic gift that I'm expecting Amazon on the paperback side will be able to deliver. And then who knows how many people have Kindles that might just go, oh, yay, a book. And we'll see how that goes. Well, what's going on this weekend? Lots of friends time. Hanging out with a friend tonight and tomorrow night. And hanging out with my nephew on Sunday. He's 14. He's a good kid. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time. What else going on? Got a meeting on a whistlekick project. Got a client meeting. And in between, email and all those other fun things that I do. So, where's my tablet go? I'll be right back. Found it. Here it is. Tablet. YouTube. Inbox. All right. The joke for Funday Friday, courtesy of Frank. What's a snowman's favorite breakfast? Frosted Flakes. Oh, they make me laugh. You know what I think the secret to good, bad jokes is selection. Because there are so many of them out there, and oftentimes people just throw volume at you. And it's not where it gets good. It gets good when you just have one just kind of sprinkled in like that. That's somewhat appropriate and just out of context. Not out of context, but it breaks up the rest of what you're doing. That's when I really like them. Of the new items in the store, which are you most proud of? Well, when the book's ready, it'll be that. Other than that, it's probably the ugly Christmas sweatshirt. Because that was the result of, I didn't do the graphic work, but it was the result of my design. And it sold okay. I have ideas for a better version for next year, but it's fun. And then the limited edition Super Kick and Wonder Kick shirts that are on there. I like those. The Super Kick I mocked up myself. Wonder Kick I actually did the graphic work myself because I couldn't get anybody to understand what I was asking for, and I got mad. So I spent a few hours one day and just messed around and got it to work. It's not as iconic. It's not as obvious. I mean, if you see the Super Kick emblem, you know that, hey, that was inspired by Superman. But if you see Wonder Kick, it's harder to know that it was inspired by Wonder Woman. But that's okay. I still need to find a way to do Batkick, and I think the fourth one in Justice League is Green Lantern. Because I wanted to do like a Green Lantern, a Justice League shirt, but if anything beyond the super kick shirt's not selling, there's no point in going forward with that. What was? How often do you visit the data for your website, visitors, guests, adding items to cart? Not often, periodically. So one of the things I'm not terribly secret of is the fact that apparel is a small piece of our business. It's the fun part, but it's smaller. And the majority of our uniforms and protective equipment and those things are sold on Amazon. And I spend a lot of time with that data. I'm in there daily to see what's going on. And most of the time it tells, all the data is telling me is you need more inventory. So if anybody out there's got, a few $100K sitting around that they want to invest in whistlekick, let me know. So we could really kick this football. No, kicking the football is a bad thing. We could really, it's too early for me to try to pull an analogy out of that. We could move the ball down the field. There we go. There's an analogy. I gotta deal with those. Oh, Chris can try out. Cool. Sue. Next. What is the best-selling item in the store? I think I can tell you that. I think I have. We use Shopify. Shopify app is not on here. So our best-selling, that's not the right app. Hold on. YouTube, there we go. Our best-selling products are sparring gear. I mean, that's the thing that we're known for. Our foam sparring gear is pretty great. I'm biased, but the reviews show that. Except for the boots, because not everyone knows how to use a sizing chart and doesn't read or look at pictures and misses the fact that there's no toe strap and thinks that and you get people who just like to complain. There's some interesting phenomenon that people are much more likely to complain leaving a review than they are leaving a complimentary review. So all reviews are skewed, especially when you're looking at ratings. But despite that, the gloves and the helmets on Amazon are still at like 4.5 out of 5. So we're doing all right. Best-selling item after that? Probably the whistlekick hoodie. The best-selling apparel item, definitely of all time, is the whistlekick hoodie. It's just a standard cotton poly hoodie. On the front, it's the logo with whistlekick under it, and on the back, it's the logo with never settle above it. It's just a one-color white imprint, and those hoodies hold up well. They're comfy. It's cut well. Price is good. That's one item I wish we could sell for a little bit less because it's such a popular item, but our cost on it with shipping and everything is it's reflected in the price. So, what's the funniest 1-star review you've gotten? Ooh. Good morning, Kate. The funniest one ever was when someone left a review complaining about a pair of shin guards they bought. And they said that they smelled like hot garbage after they used them. I mean, that says something about you, not the gear. Or no, I'm sorry. It felt like wearing hot trash bags. I think that's what she said. And so I wrote her a message. I was like, come on. How are you being fair? And what it was is, because it's Amazon, you get people who aren't used to foam protective gear and the vinyl coating on it, and it's not really, I don't know if it's actually vinyl. I think it's vinyl. I should know. When I wake up, I'll probably remember. Anyways, the coating on it, it's not porous. It doesn't allow sweat. It doesn't allow moisture through, and that's good because it keeps it from, becoming bacteria laden. It's easy to clean, etc. But if you're not used to that, if you're coming from something that's more of like a shin instep with, like a fabric cover, that stuff breathes a little bit more. Well, that's why we have ventilation holes in the shin guard, so it helps a little bit. But yeah, hot garbage bags. So it started off as 1 star, and I think she brought it up to 2 after our message, which I appreciated. I don't want people to lie in their reviews, but I want people to know what they're getting. I want you to read the description and look at the pictures and not punish the seller because you thought it was something else. It's like if you look at the description for the Pursuit sparring gloves, the what we call semi-contact gloves that look kind of like a boxing glove, it says all over the place, this is not a boxing glove. Because if people buy it and they use it on a heavy bag, it's gonna fall apart and they're gonna be bad. So I tried to fill the space with that. This is not a boxing glove. We've got another order of those coming through soon. Oh, you know what should be launching today? And if you are in the martial arts radio group, you're going to see it first. So I've had people pushing me for, I still have another question. I've had people pushing me for some way that they can support Whistlekick and the show without making a purchase. Because we have people the world over who want to support. We've got a big following in Australia. And for you to buy something from here and have it shipped to Australia, it's expensive. So we're launching a Patreon. And I've shown it to a number of people who are kind of in the inner circle helping out. And everybody said it looks good. There are 6 tiers, as low as $2 a month, and then the upper tier is $100 a month, and it gets you an hour of coaching plus a whole bunch of other stuff. There's going to be exclusive content, so there's quite a range. And the upper tiers are limited in quantity because I want to make sure that the engagement, the one-on-one that I'm promising I can deliver, and I'm looking forward to see what happens. Now, as to apparel and global stuff, I had somebody reach out, Daniel, who is sometimes in this chat. So, hi Daniel. Daniel's from the UK and wanted a shirt, but even though one of the systems we use has printing in, I think it's Croatia, somewhere in the EU, it was defaulting to the US for him. So of course the shipping was crazy, but I figured a bit of it out. So it looks like in the new year, we're going to revamp some of the items, make sure that it will it'll draw from either warehouse, I guess we'll call it, and we'll end up making a separate collection in the store for EU items, so because we've got a decent following in the UK, and if people want to rock our shirts and stuff, I want to make sure they can. So cool. All right, last question. Remember, if you want to, you can answer the question, but if you want to ask a question, you should drop it below. I'll answer it Monday, or if you listen to this in the future, the next day. Are there any items at the store you enjoy using the most? I like our foam gear. I designed it 2012. So August of 2012 is when we really finalized that stuff. So over 7 years ago, and it was based on, at that time, close to over 25 years of using everybody else's foam gear and hating it because it was designed poorly and getting worse. So I'm really proud of that. I really like using that gear, especially the foot gear, because you get more floor contact, more foot to floor. I really like the Taekwondo uniform that I'm told will be here before Christmas, knock on wood. I was expecting that like 2 months ago. This is the frustrating part about manufacturing. That uniform could be revolutionary for us because of the change, this one tiny change that we made, that nobody else seems to want to do, and this was the only factory I found that was willing to do it. And I've got a sample of it in my closet for it. I have a sample of that uniform in my closet. I wear it to Taekwondo. It's awesome. I'm really pumped for it. See how it goes. What other items do I like using? Once we get the uniforms fixed, I'm going to love those. My favorite apparel item is probably the gold edition hoodie, because it's super comfy. It's got like stretchy fabric, like 1%, 2% stretchy fabric in there, and it's so comfortable. We should do something more elaborate with that sweatshirt. I've got a couple people that I'm working with, and I think I've talked about this, that are graphic designers that are interested in apparel, and so we're experimenting, seeing if there's some work we can do together. I'm excited for the outcome there. All right, let's wrap this up. Thanks for coming by. And for those of you asking questions live, I appreciate that. That keeps me on my toes, and it makes the conversation more dynamic. It allows you to ask follow-ups if I answer weird, and it makes me feel like I'm more engaged. Because remember, you're watching me doing things, I'm not watching you. I'm watching myself, and I'm reversed. See, like when you look at First Cup, it's backwards. And that's because I need to be able to see the chat. All right, let's wrap it up. If you want to ask me a question, drop it below. I'll answer it tomorrow. Subscribe, turn on notifications. I gotta talk about this real quick. There was an episode of Martial Arts Radio I dropped yesterday titled, "It's Okay to Not Be Okay." It has been one of the most, it's probably the episode I've received the most feedback on, ever. Stacy says, "Phew, so glad this is not a two-way camera." It's morning, yeah. You all see me in a bathrobe. You may not be wearing as much. I don't need to see everybody. That would be weird. That episode, I recorded it at a point in time when I was having some difficulty. I needed to record it for me. I suspected there were other people who would benefit from hearing it. I had no idea how many people would. I mean, it wasn't quite at the point where my phone was blowing up yesterday, but there were a lot of messages, shares, tags. A lot of people really appreciated it, and that means a lot to me. If anything I'm going through, and if anything I do makes people's lives better, I'm gonna keep doing it. It's not about me. This thing that we've got going on here with Whistlekick is so much more important than I am. It's so much bigger. Yeah. So if you haven't checked out that episode, please do. It's not really about martial arts. And you might know somebody that would benefit from hearing it. What else? Subscribe. We do the show every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, here on YouTube. Catch it later in your podcast feed, firstcupofjeremy.com. Of course, still available on YouTube. And, all right, homework. No homework. It's the weekend. I don't want to give homework on the weekends. I want to be that cool science teacher. Stacy says, if you haven't checked it out, meaning that episode, do it now. Do it now! With an exclamation point. Thank you, Stacy. Stacy was one of the people who reached out and said she appreciated that episode. So, yeah. Hope you have a great weekend. Hope you do something fun. Do something awesome. And if not, just enjoy what you're doing. Even if that means you gotta kind of read between the lines. Yeah. Thanks for coming by. Take care. Peace.